I appreciate everything that gender affirming care has done for me. And I thank God every day that this was the right decision for me, because I have friends like Richie who it wasn't the right decision for, and now he's missing genitals. So, you know, when it comes to it being life-saving, the reason I didn't step forward, you know, even as somebody who might agree with that prompt, is because correlation is not causation.
Hey everybody, I caught myself another one. I'm super excited. Andrew, I love Andrew. He's such a sweetheart and such a cool guy. And so, you know, this whole Jubilee trans debate, conservative versus liberal, seems to be the hot topic right now. So, you know, for me, I always try to find the glass half full as opposed to half empty. And I really think there are some great things that came out of that debate. But more importantly for me, it's I don't necessarily want my opinion just straight up. I thought it would be really awesome to have Andrew, who was on that debate, you know, hang out with me, and we can both kind of go through this. And I really want to hear Andrew's experience, because we can see it all there, but to actually have somebody who is sitting there in this situation and on that sort of debate, I say that loosely, debate, I think will make a powerful conversation. So, hey, Andrew, thank you so much. I know how busy you are and, you know, all of that. So for joining me, it means a lot to me. So thank you.
Good morning. So as Buck said, my name's Andrew. I am a horticultural technologist from Augusta, Georgia.
Excellent.
Spending most of my days planting trees and clearly advocating for not sterilizing kids, which I can't believe I have to say that.
I
I
Wacko,
can't believe I
dude.
have to say that.
I know I can't either. You know that we're both, Andrew and I are very in alignment on a lot of stuff that's
I'm
happening.
about as close to an 80s baby as I could be without being an 80s baby.
Right on, my friend. So sometimes I might call you kiddo, because I'm literally like twice your age, or maybe even more. How old are you again?
21.
Yeah, I'm super. I'm basically your dad.
It's okay. I love that. It's
Right
okay. My
on.
dad is looking down from heaven and greatly appreciating you.
Sweet, dude. Sweet. You're so great. You have such great energy. So let's get on. Let's get on this. So by the way, I'm using Zoom today, and I'm not like super versed in this. So give us all a little bit of slack here as I sort of fumble through this. But I have this video here, so that we can actually. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that, Andrew?
I can't.
Oh, you can't see the video?
Yeah,
Oh,
my phone's. I can't see my screen. Remember, it's my
oh,
back
okay,
camera.
but you can hear. But you can hear.
Yes,
That's okay.
yes,
Oh, it's more important that you hear it. Okay, so I'm
yeah.
just gonna.
Trust me, I've already seen all this once. It
I know
might
you don't need
activate a
to see it,
trauma response.
dude. It's gonna give you a brain damage. You're gonna have trauma for the rest of your life. I hope Jubilee can pay.
Oxygen depletion.
Jubilee's gonna have to pay for your psychiatric after this, dude.
Dude, legit.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
so
I
crazy.
I
Okay, so
never owned one.
I'm gonna play the beginning of this video here. So just tell me,
Being a non-binary person that sometimes
can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back a little. Go back. Okay.
being a non-binary person that sometimes has the choice to either go into a men's restroom looking like this. So you can look at me looking like this.
It's just interesting that I thought this was a trans debate. That's what I
don't
thought.
even.
Non-binary people.
Non-binary
I
people
will
fall
further
under the trans umbrella.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you could educate yourself a little bit on that.
I think I
and
could
maybe
educate
then you would figure
I think I
out,
could educate
you know, what
right?
reality is.
Oh, whoa.
Dude, I'm sitting here cracking up so hard.
I can't even help it. It's like listening to all of that. It's just, and keep in mind, I'm wearing like AirPods with like the Dolby Atmos shit. So, like Blaire's over here and Alexander's over here, and then you've got the director
God.
back here, and so
Oh
and you
wow,
could
dude.
just
Yeah, no. So I want to know a little bit about here. I'm going to stop this because I want to know a little bit about. I really want to know a little bit about like what was the energy? That's just the beginning of this thing. What is the energy happening right now?
the energy in what that is actually a lot of different pieces of the
Right,
debate. That's from all over the fucking place, right?
right.
So, like, the energy in the room was at least for me, it was great because Blaire was there.
Right on.
But I would assume for them, the energy was intimidating because
Okay.
Blaire was there.
No, you're right. I can hear it in their interviews after, how they're just, everyone's pretty much all about Blaire and upset at Blaire, not so much you or the other people, but it feels like they were
What got
targeting.
me
Mhm.
is like you could even see in certain points of the debate where it was like I would say something and then
Mhm.
they would attack Blaire for it, and then I would be like, no, I said that, and then we would just fly over the fact that they just attacked Blaire for something she didn't say
Right.
that I just said right in front of them.
It's
Like,
so,
look, be mad at me. I want you mad at me, but you know.
yeah, but what is that? So that first opening statement, and I know I remember because it's down in the video later on, but specifically that question about non-binary people in the trans community. I'll tell you first, I don't think non-binary people are trans, and I would have said the same thing everyone else said in this on the conservative side, that it's not trans, it's non-binary. And the fact that the non-binary, what's that guy's name, non-binary, Alexander, he just could
I mean,
not.
he kept, and the thing is, he kept on like telling on himself.
Yep, that's
Like
right.
he would subconsciously agree with something Blaire said, but then when she said it, it was a problem.
Right, I caught that. That's so true, because I think that they just hate her. You know, when you just hate somebody, that you can't have a good debate because you're hating from the beginning of that. And Blaire already knew what she was getting her. She's already at that height where people just dislike her in this community. And so I have to say that it just says a lot about her, that, the fact that she would take on all of that stuff. And knowing that these people
It's because she's smart and she's sexy.
Is it a safety concern for trans women to share a female restroom? Right? Come on. That question alone. Do you find that the questions were sort of to create a sort of energy that it created there? This sort of you against me energy?
I think they were trying to manipulate us into finding a middle ground that just wasn't going to be
Yeah, that's a good point. That is an
found.
excellent point. Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
I mean, no matter what, because
Yeah.
they're so militant that it's like, I
Yeah.
mean, there was not going to be a middle ground. I mean, they could have gave us the prompt, "The sky is blue," and they'd had something to say about it.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying, because I could tell by the people they picked on the panel to for the debate. Those people are already aggressive, right? They came aggressive. The conservative side was not aggressive at all. The liberal side came at it. Let's just do this real quick. This question here. Hold on.
To a self-ID process, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of men just simply self-IDing and to being trans women to utilize the female restroom and to harm women.
Or just be there. They're getting arousal from just being there.
There was a photo or it was a video that went viral, I think like just 2 weeks ago, with some like whole man with a boner in the women's restroom. And there's just some poor woman filming it. Like, am I just supposed to like accept that this is here? So I think there's levels to it. I think that trans women who are actually trans, we're talking gender dysphoria, transitions, making the effort, probably once you reach a certain point in your transition where you can actually assimilate within that space and not cause a disruptance, that would probably be the ideal time to start doing that, right? Whereas,
Don't you think she makes a great point?
The thing about Blaire when it comes to that, I feel like Blaire is at, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I feel like Blaire is at such a point in her transition where honestly she's allowed to have an opinion. Like,
You think?
like, like she can go in there and be like, "I'm uncomfortable," and it should be taken into account because, like, look, when I met her, I didn't think she was gonna be little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
I didn't know she was so tiny.
Yeah, she's tiny.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
It's so cute, but that's what makes her so cute, I think, is she just,
Yeah.
But I that's the thing is she's saying something that is very important that people hear, and our trans community doesn't want to hear that because they find it to be transphobic. What's so transphobic about wanting to look like a woman or a man? Me and you make an effort to look male. No one ever bothers. I mean, I guess I'm speaking for you, but do anyone ever bother you if you go into the men's room, Andrew?
I think the better question would be, what would they do if I went into the women's room?
That is a better question. No, you're right. It's the most
They would
ridiculous.
lose their marbles.
That's
I've
right.
got a full beard, okay? Look,
That's right.
beautiful.
I know, dude. Yeah,
Like, they'd lose their minds.
you look nothing like a chick, dude. Zero. That's the whole point.
Things change, but
Hold on, I wanna
fairly
get you.
universal experience. Once you get to a certain point of passing, that's about the time that you would start going into the other bathroom as opposed to not make the same sex uncomfortable. Once you reach that point in your transition, a lot of things change, but you start to see things from another perspective. You start to see things from the perspective of a cis person.
You make great points, Andrew. And I'm one. Oh, so wait, hold on one sec. I want to get to where
Why
the
are we
liberals
policing
showed
other
up.
people's?
Here we go. Here we go.
I want to comment on Blaire's point. The one thing I kept hearing through all of the nuance is passability.
I never
Because
said that.
ultimately, when we talk about passability, it determines how you get harassed in the bathroom. Because honestly, if you don't look so passable or whatnot, people are going to say, "Oh, that's a man with a dress on." And then
Dude,
there's
did Blaire ever say possible? I didn't hear that word come out of her mouth.
No, I said that. Me.
There you go. Thank you.
Me. I said that.
Thank you. So what you see that now?
And
So why is Blaire saying, I mean, why is Blossom saying that?
this is one of 5. This is time 1 of 5 that they did that stupid shit.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, we don't know. Like,
Wow.
look, there's a lot of crazy shit that woman did in that room that day. Okay, I really just don't know. I don't know if she did meth before she came. I'm serious. I'm not even being funny. Like,
Dude, what you are. Oh man, it's so annoying. This whole thing is so annoying because it's smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? That's the thing with editing. I know about editing, right? You can just take things and move them around and make it seem like a whole different conversation. But so the energy from Blossom feels very much like she came there to have a fight.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They all did.
Yeah.
Well, except for Sasha. I don't really know what Sasha was doing there. Sasha's like a child.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually,
I
I
think,
think he might be my age.
wow.
It's like his energy just right. If he said like in between one more word in between his sentences, I was gonna lose my like marbles.
Like marbles.
It's fucking aggravating. Like shit.
No, because he comes from that lib side there where it's all like peace and love and happiness. And why can't we all get along? And I'm like, oh wow, you're really saying that.
I want to make that shit makes me want to put my head through the wall.
Dude, wait, let's listen to a little bit more of Blossom.
going to be discourse. But the reality of it is, honestly, who cares who's trans and who's cis going in the bathroom? You should be minding your own business, being able to pee and do your business in peace for the most part. That conversation around this man with a boner on or whatever like that, I saw that picture and I thought to myself, that's really a right-wing talking point and conservative propaganda.
Okay, aren't you tired of that? Everything's right-wing.
See, and with that statement, she had me all the way up until that point.
There you go.
She
There you go.
had me all the way up until that point.
But it's always comes down to if those people disagree. Yeah.
Damn, I mean, and there's still some issues wrong with that.
Yeah, go on.
But I mean, I don't know if you do remember. Let's be real.
Yeah.
There was a time when gay men used to be just kind of they just used the women's restroom.
That's right. They did.
Like especially like little twinkie feminine gay men. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And there was nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
But now like in the past 10 years there has become this conversation. This is recent.
Yeah.
Like even though I'm young, I recognize from people who are older than me that this is not a conversation that y'all were having 15 years ago.
That's right. That's right. No, you're totally right. So that's the other problem with what's happening now. They're making all these agendas, and making the bathroom an agenda when we've always been using the toilet and we never made a big deal out of it. Now they're just making it something else. It's sad to me. This whole thing is sad to me.
I don't know. I
Agenda,
always use the gender neutral bathroom. It's easier. Just like, Target has one, and I love Target, by the way.
Yeah,
Bless
right on.
Target.
Yeah,
But like I would like if there is a third space, fuck it. And plus you get to be alone. Like,
that's right. I mean,
good for
and
you,
also
right?
nobody cares about that. They're using it as a political thing. Most trans people just figure it the heck out and move on and do their business, but they're making it into a political statement. And Blossom makes everything into this sort of political space, right? Like, you know what? Just everything Blossom comes out of her mouth has to do with some kind of activism, black stuff. Like, it's just all that. She doesn't live in the real world. She lives in some kind of bubbled
See, and
space.
this goes into like these people haven't been out in the real world, right? I don't know. I'm
That's
sure
right.
you've been in a bar, Buck. I don't know if these people have been in a bar because
That's right.
the bathrooms in the bar are gender neutral. I know they might say men and women, but
That's right.
they're just bathrooms. Okay, everybody's drunk. Like especially down here, you just you'd be walking up into the men's bathroom and there's a bitch in the mirror taking selfies, and you're like, okay, good for you.
No, but it's true, dude. And everyone uses the toilet, so everyone
Like,
knows the energy. That's why Blossom is disingenuous. She's always everything she says.
I said, like, does she pee? I just wonder.
I don't know what she does, and I don't even want to know. I used to, I'll be honest with you, my friend. I tried to be very respectful to Blossom, even after the time she did that stuff to me
Me too.
on Pamela. But you can't, she won't let you be. She creates this energy. So it's like I have no desire to be friendly with her, and I have no desire to ever even have a conversation with her anymore. She's disingenuous, and she's comes with tons of lies, and she has an agenda. I just like her, and she has created
And
that
it's
energy.
just not fun to be around.
Nope,
Like
she's
as
not.
a person.
Nope.
No.
That's right.
It's okay for minors to get top surgery.
Really?
Oh my God, they
That's
all
pretty
went.
vile.
Oh my God.
I feel like
They all
the
sat.
vibe is like
That's pretty vile.
Like as someone who had
Dude, wow. What did you? All the liberals sat down as yes.
Dude, just like I love when Blaire just be like saying shit. Like that's pretty vile.
She's
Like
so
because
awesome.
she's so dry and it's so funny.
Oh my God, dude, what is happening? So let's see why they think minors, their excuses. Listen to this.
top surgery and went on hormones, like it's a very emotionally intense experience.
That's right.
I think in terms of like minors getting surgery, like the reason why I'm not like no to that is because I feel like maybe someone's like 17 or something. I honestly feel like it is a really intense surgery, but I feel like if somebody's like 17 or like late 16 and like feels like it's right for them, I mean, like people are really different. I know for me, like top surgery when I was like 16 would have been like so good, and it would have literally like saved my spinal cord.
Oh my God, dude, Andrew, you're so right. He continually says like.
Every 3 words, dude. I thought I was gonna lose my mind.
Match. But are you hearing his excuse for why he thinks kids? I would have benefited.
No, because I can't hear it over it. I couldn't hear anything he was saying because of it. No.
No, I know that's.
No, I get it.
But the fact that he's
Teenagers,
saying that.
teenagers are gonna teenager, and I wish I had got it sooner. And subjective this, blah blah blah.
Wow.
Like.
Wow. Like. So that's they're all gonna say that. Watch.
Like,
Let's
I
hear
feel
what
like in instances
Blossom
like
has
it
to
can
say.
make sense.
So I'm not a trans man, so I don't have the experience or whatnot, but I do think that it has to
You
be done
sure?
safely. There is a process when it comes to having these types
Andrew,
of gender affirming surgery.
did you say, are you sure? And the fact that she even says, I'm not a trans man, but then goes on to say,
But then
which-
but then keeps talking. Then
that's
she
what
keeps
it's like,
talking.
maybe you should have stopped right there, Blossom, because you're right. You're not a trans man. You don't get to have this but let's see what Blossom has to say. God, dude, it's like
Over the
comical.
3 trans men.
Oh, yeah, 3 trans
Over
guys.
the 3 trans men.
Again, typical. Here we go.
Surgeries, you know what I'm saying? Talking with your parents and then going to endocrinologists and going through therapy to make sure this is right for you. People have
man.
a choice to their autonomy.
Running out of time.
Now, I know that everybody does not,
Yep.
but those that do or whatnot
Adults.
should choose with the right medical education.
Yeah.
They should choose with safety and with full understanding of what.
Okay, I can't even listen to her because she's a wingnut. You know what? She said you need to go to your endocrinologist. That has nothing to do with top surgery, first off. Secondly, what are you talking about? Like, it needs to be a safety space for an adult. No child can make that choice. That's just my opinion. I think me and you agree. What do you think about kids? And wait, do you actually get to say something on this?
Yes, I'm actually fairly against surgery in most circumstances. Top surgery, the only reason being is because it's because of the industry
Yeah.
that is doing top surgery. I
Yeah.
just don't think that surgery should be your first, like, immediate, like with anything. Like, is it should it be your, like, as a woman, should it be your first, idea to go get surgery just because you don't like something with your body?
That's right. I
Like,
agree.
I used to be a C, okay, a C, and
yeah.
I can like take my shirt off at the beach now.
Right on. But you know what? When did you get your top surgery? How old were you?
I didn't. I just look like this
Oh, so you were
because
naturally
I worked
born
my
with-
ass off for it.
There you go. Thank you for saying that. Wasn't just handed to you. This other guy, what's his name?
Done tens of thousands of push-ups, my friend. Tens of
There you
thousands
go.
of push-ups.
There you go. That's what I did before my top surgery as well. I want to ask you about this guy. Hold on one second.
Somebody who has experienced top surgery and also waited quite a bit of time. A lot of severe damage actually was created to my rib cage that my wife, who is half my size, actually has the same size rib cage in the back as mine. And these are permanent damage to my body because I binded for about 8 years, and there's even still issues that I have with breathing and certain issues that I face that unfortunately, if I had that surgery a lot earlier, I would have a better posture. I'd have a lot of pain that is not within my body.
Okay, enough of that. I understand the binding is bad. I've been binding over 30 something years ago. I have no problems. So I think the problem with him saying that is that he now is putting out information that makes it seem like anyone who binds will have this problem, which is not true. Did you ever bind? You're so small, I don't know if you had to.
Yeah, and I don't know if this has occurred to him, but maybe the binder that he got his freshman year of high school isn't going to fit him anymore.
There you go. So that's what I want to ask you. Do you think it's fair? Hold on, I'm going to get out of this. Do you think it's fair that he's saying something like that, as if it sounds like a very blanket statement? Because that's his experience. It's not my experience and not your experience and other trans men.
I mean, everybody's talking about how their ribs are so fucked up. Sir, I'm an underwear model.
Right.
I don't know that they would necessarily let me do that if my ribs were the wrong shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be fairly decent looking.
But I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, yeah, that didn't work out for you, dude. You did it for 8 years. Maybe you should have got a breast reduction, because I think he had big breasts, as opposed to just buying, you know, when you have double D and you're just
Or
doing.
as opposed to binding you for your body type like you're supposed to do.
That's right. So he
Like,
was.
I'm
Mhm.
willing to bet you that he was trying to be flat.
That's right.
Like, you're not
That's right.
supposed to have a beer belly. You're supposed to just like, you know,
That's right.
you know, men who are bigger have boobs too.
That's right. I mean, that I don't like that he said that. That's totally for sure misinformation on some level, and it didn't work out for you. It doesn't necessarily mean it will work out for other. And that to me means you're encouraging young people to say that they have to have top surgery or something will happen if they bind. You're giving this sort of really this terminology to kids to use so that they can actually get that, you know, surgery without maybe they don't
Self-fulfilling
need it.
prophecy.
There you go, friend. So I really want to hear, because it's going to end here in a minute. I just really want to hear what you took from that. What experience did you take from that, and what do you feel that
In terms of that specific prompt?
no, the whole thing. The whole thing.
The whole
Going
thing.
into it, leaving it. What did you get
I
from
mean,
that?
there was a lot of I did get a lot of things from it. That was my first time in LA. I'll never go back. So I do thank Jubilee for letting me know that LA is disgusting.
Hilarious.
And
Terrible.
you know, I got to meet my hero, and I got to meet also Sarah, who is awesome, and I love her
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like and keep in mind, I had no idea Blaire was coming.
Right. Excellent.
None. Okay.
Excellent.
So when I got there and like I see this pretty lady strolling up to us, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And then I'm like, "Oh," you know,
Sweet.
shit in a brick, shit in a brick. You know, having watched her for 10 years, that was just crazy. But and you know, things that I've taken away from the debate is now I know even more so that they're even more crazy than I thought they were.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they really showed their asses out there.
Yeah. I agree. They really said some things that are absurd.
Like, and I mean, it was just the fact that Blossom even felt comfortable to like dive into privilege this and privilege that, because it's no, there's not here, right? Like not me, right? No,
Yeah, that's right.
I legit, you know, and keep in mind when I say I was raised by drug addicts, my parents are doing wonderful now.
Great.
All of them doing great, all
Great.
sober.
Excellent.
It's doing fantastic.
Great.
You know, I literally just lost my dad to a fentanyl overdose.
My God, I'm so sorry, dude. That is horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, and it really is. So for her to be sitting here, you've been on the Kardashians, I went the fuck to work. So let's be clear, we're not the same.
She
Like, because
doesn't.
when I'm done here, I have to go cut grass. I have to go to like
Yeah.
my real like job where I interact with the world every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and I change things. I change the way that people view their homes, you know.
Yeah.
Like what she does is arguably false. You know, what you do is different than what she does, because what she does is like she's a token. You're not doing this. There's no 401k for what you do.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. And I think we need to call her out on her stuff. You know, she's actually saying things that are dangerous to our community. Number one. Number two, she's misrepresenting our community. All she ever uses is her race, which I find very sad. And you know, it's not going to help racism on any level. She's constantly pulling that. The whole debate, she pulled that thing. And she pulled that on me.
It's like arguing with the damn broken record.
It's
broken
so
fucking record.
It's horrible. It literally puts so much bad taste in people's mouths. Or like they're not even going to listen to her anymore. She derailed the whole conversation with all of that stuff and her anger towards Blaire. So it really did become the Blaire Blossom show on some level, because they just went after her. And you could see it.
Well, I don't even know if it was just the Blaire Blossom show, right? Because the liberals were like so inherently aggressive that I don't know, they saw Blaire White walk in the room and they were like, okay, well, this is now trans liberals versus Blaire White.
That's right. That's right. You could feel, I mean, I can feel it from outside, and you could just feel that energy. And the disrespect towards all of you because you're conservative, whatever that even means, and the words they were throwing, and all you four were just sitting there, like, this is going to end, but I just want to say thank you because I have the free version of Zoom because I never use it. So it's literally going to cut us off. But that being said, just before it does cut us off, I want this to be recorded. And Andrew, you're such a beautiful, awesome human. And I'm really, really, really honored to be your friend. And I mean that, Andrew and I are actually friends. And I feel very honored to have a person like you in my life. And, especially in the trans space, because I feel so disconnected from this community. So to have a younger generation of somebody like yourself, I see you're so smart and focused, and Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video with Andrew, who I really enjoy his company a lot. And if you could like, subscribe, comment, send this to people who you think would benefit from this. And I just want to say thank you always for helping and supporting my channel and helping me grow this and bring on all these amazing guests. And so have a great rest of your day or night, or wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one.